Well, I found out a year and a half ago. It was about 5 days before my 19th birthday. So it's kind of like my birthday present. I was finding out that I had cancer. And about a week after that, I went in and had a surgery to do a biopsy. And then I started chemotherapy, and the cancer was in my bone in my right femur. So about 6 months later, a little bit less than 6 months later, I went in and had major surgery to cut out my femur and my knee. Basically 6 months nauseous and vomiting and extremely tired, laying around at home. I had to take the quarter off of school, which was actually really a tough thing for me because I really wanted to be done with school. I was on crutches for 3 months after that, and tried to do school along with, you know, being on crutches and on chemo, and you know, still trying to push through. I wanted to still be studying. I wanted to still be hanging out with friends. I wanted to still be active. And so it really hurt whenever there were times that I couldn't do those things. Taking time off school was hard. Not being able to do sports anymore was hard. In high school I did track, soccer. I like to swim and bike and, you know, climb mountains. Following the surgery, I had more chemotherapy, and then basically got 6 months off. I went back to school. I started getting involved in some groups around the school and with my old high school as well. Went to Mexico on a mission trip as a leader, which was a blast. But then right as I got back from that trip, I found out that the cancer was still there, and it had actually shown up in my lungs. I found that out again right around my birthday. That was kind of my 20th birthday present. I had 2 major surgeries on my lungs, and then following that started a clinical trial through Children's Hospital. And did that for about 4 months. And when we found out about a month and a half ago that didn't work, I started chemo again with the expectation that there will be lung surgery again in about a month. You know, after a couple weeks into chemo, or you know, after doing surgeries, things like that, over time your body just starts deteriorating. You know, you lose your hair, which is one of the most telling signs, you know, of a cancer patient. I told the docs, just, I trust your judgment, do whatever you need. Obviously it was going to be painful, and it was, but you know, it was also necessary. And it's funny because the other option besides the limb salvage, is what they called it, was like total amputation. And it was like, you could do either one. This one we recommend because you get to keep your toes. Even though the surgery on my leg was going to be really extreme and it's going to take months to recover, and you know, I wouldn't be able to ever use it the same way again. It was something that you just had to do. You had to be aggressive with it. Had to you know, cut that out. As painful as it was going to be, just that root of the cancer that was in my femur was dangerous enough that it needed to be dealt with no matter what. If we had done nothing, or even just chemo, and it hadn't worked, it would have just kept growing. It would have gotten outside of the bone where it was confined at the time and taken over all the leg around it, and kind of just start spreading. It probably would have moved to other parts of my body too if we had left it alone. I think trusting my doctor was one of the things that came more naturally. I just couldn't really question him either, because what did I know compared to him? Cancer is something that if you don't deal with it, it just grows and it spreads. And even though it might be small to begin with, it eventually will just take over and kill you. And in the same way, you know, sin, when it takes root, just will spread to other areas of your life. It's not content to stay where it is. Like with cancer, you have to root out the sin. You know, be aggressive in your treatment of even the little sins in your life. Sin always takes you farther than you want to go, keeps you longer than you want to stay, and costs you more than you want to pay. Sin is progressive, and it is deadly, and it's not going to just go away.